Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Child, where we leave off. Oh, this. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Welcome back. This is Ray. OMG. Love of Mary's Huntsville Season 4 Reunion Part 2. We got a third part coming up. How y'all doing today? I'm doing good. Turn this light on so I can see my notes, child, because you know I got notes. I got notes, Notes. Okay. Let me clear my throat on this. Kiki, you ain't. Oh wait, I gotta wait a few more minutes before I start cussing her behind all the way TF out. Yeah, I'm still on that first cousin mess because girl, you ain't mess. You ain't, you know what? You ain't, all this for a look, all this for some get back, payback. You want to embarrass yourself and your family and all of what you worked so hard for. See, people got reality TV all the way messed up. That's what I think. People got reality TV all the way messed up. Uncle Bernard, what's that fool's name? Who had a wife and a girl trying to go into business with Miss Wanda, cousin Clawfoot. I don't know, whatever his name. Yeah. Okay, let's just get into this mess. Kiki says Tisha speculated about Marsau cheating. Tisha's like, no, I didn't, because she likes to research before she approaches Marsau. I'm pretty sure that's what Marsau said, because it sounds like every time we see it on TV, you got to come with this, you got to come with that if you want me to even address it, because I'm not. See, first of all, you, my husband, you're going to address anything I asked you for. Anything. I don't care if it's where's your sock? How much money did you spend 2 weeks ago? Let me check the account. Anything. You, my husband, and possibly my boyfriend, depending on how long we've been together. Fiance, definitely. From fiance all the way to death. Don't question me about questioning you. That's that on that. Because, vice versa. I'm not in that habit of trying to pull a fast one. And see, Marsau, I ain't even over there. But I am just flabbergasted at this information that I'm about to share with you. If you haven't already seen it, child, I'm sure by now y'all seen it, because a whole lot of people done seen it. We putting out all our reviews, child. I done watched a couple before I put this one out, but at the same time, I wish Tisha, Letitia Scott, how dare you? Girl, how dare you have us thinking this, that, and the third, and you done already found evidence, and you stand with them. You found a picture of a girl in his phone that he commented on with hearts. And that's not anything to be worried about, girl. And he lied on stage. Kiki caught him in a lie, talking about, did you say something? He was like, no. She was like, yes, you said a midday surprise. Wasn't that the same issue Mel brought up? Now, don't shoot the messenger. Hello. Isn't this the same information Mel told Tisha to go find your husband during the day? Because, see, cheaters are going to be sneaky linking during the day, thinking their wives, thinking they taking care of business as long as I'm at home at night. See, I've heard that before. As long as I'm home at night, we good. Yeah, because you're doing all your sneaky linking during the day. And that's the prime example. That's the prime real estate in Marsau's cheating, I believe, is that he's doing this stuff during the day, which is another reason why he wanted Tisha to stay in the house. Don't come outside until... Remember the first season? He was like, you want to do what during the day? No, you need to take care of my kids during the day. Yeah, because he's sneaky linking during the day. See, child, listen. She got the evidence, right? She ain't leaving that man. So all I know is we all need to stop trying to say this and say that, because she ain't, no matter how wrong he's been, no matter how many trifling excuses, even this so-called trip or meeting up with Chris Fletcher that he said he had that took him all that time away from his family in Atlanta, okay? Chris Fletcher said they was doing that for. Tisha said, yeah, they're doing that for. And I'm like, girl, so he said he had dinner with the man. That's a lie, because dinner don't start till 5 or 6. Then there's a picture of the man's back somebody took in a motel somewhere. Listen, whatever floats her boat, and that's that on that, because I'm pretty much done. Listen, we gonna call it out still probably, but ain't nobody gonna take anything more to heart, because Tisha ain't leaving him. She needs, like she said, she needs to see the porn video in order for her to even get upset and frustrated and whatnot. But she was pissed off and mad in the car talking about the picture of the back and then Chris Fletcher. See, ain't nobody, listen, Marsau is not this type of dude everybody wants. No matter what Tisha think of her man, she know he is not the type that every woman's gonna run to if, ooh, girl, he ain't turning heads like that. You know what I'm saying? And ain't just because he got some flab or whatnot, but just looking at the man, no shade, he ain't toe up, he ain't mud duck ugly, but he ain't the type to be turning heads like that. So, all these different, so-called innuendos and no, hell, all the proof that we providing to Tisha, she don't want to believe it. Hey, some women are stupid, and that's how they gonna be, no matter what. That's that on that. What's next on my notes, child? What's next on my notes? He commented, yeah. He commented on the picture and got caught in the lie. Yeah. So Tisha says she researching every accusation before she bring it to Marsau, like I said, because he gonna make her do that. He's gonna make her respect him as her husband. So she better not come to him with nothing else unless it's proof positive. Negro. Just so he can shut her up. Girl, you stupid. Anyway. Woo. So listen. Maurice chimes in talking about, well, if looking at a picture is cheating, then I'm guilty. Kimmy looked at him and went to be, to go back into the conversation, looking at everybody. See, Kimmy, listen. Again, Kimmy, child, listen. That right there was proof too. See, all guilty people tell on themselves in one way or another. Verbatim, they will tell on themselves. You just have to wait for the moment or listen to them as they're communicating, because they're all, a bunch of mess, and they gonna just, tell on themselves. What else is on my notes, child? So Wanda goes off on Kiki because Kiki is not being loving like she should, and Kiki went off on Wanda because Wanda ain't being a good aunt. Listen, all y'all stupid. How about that? And that's that on that. I'm sick of them. So Kimmy calls out Kiki for starting the convo at Mel's Christmas party when they were talking about Tisha. And Kimmy was like, listen, there's people here that don't even know Tisha. And it just seemed like we just sitting here talking about Tisha when you should be talking to Tisha about your issues. And Kiki's like, no, I don't think we're going to do that. Well, why are you talking about it here? I know that's right, Kimmy. And it was on film because Kiki was like, I didn't start that. I hope you have it on film. Please run the tape. Yeah, because she want to show herself on TV again. Girl, bye. Get out of here. Marsau asked if he and Tisha joked about Kiki's drug habit when Mel was talking about how she found out, a little more so. And, excuse me. And then, it was said that he did joke about it as far as how he communicated to the Holtz. But Martell was like, honestly, I don't remember how it was communicated. He don't want to get into that mess. he ain't trying to get into nothing. He's trying to keep his friendship with his homie, and he's trying to keep the peace with his ex-wife. So I get that. He know. Listen, Martell know. Oh, child. What else happened, child? So Marsau and what's her name, Mel, going back and forth about whether or not he said it in a joking way, because Marsau is a jokester and everything he say is funny, and Mel was like, no, everything you say is not funny. At the same time, you said it as as being serious, and it was and no, as him joking about it. And he was like, he was serious, sorry, I'm saying it backwards. Marsau was joking, and pretty much Mel took it to heart. Mel and the host took it to heart. And that hurt Kiki because she, depended on her reputation, excuse me. And it really took her aback and by surprise that she would get caught up like that. She ain't the type to be stealing out of people's houses, going through people's medicine cabinets and whatnot, like Marsau said. She that's messed up. But then again, why is Marsau communicating this? This is Tisha's family. You know what I'm saying? Tisha gives Marsau way too much credit, way too much power, and Marsau thrives on it. He knows what he got. And he's gonna continue to do what he do, because Tisha ain't gonna say nothing. And if she do say something, she just gonna mouse up, cower down, and go back to her corner. Maurice chimed in to support Marsau as far as Marsau, being sentimental, because he mentioned how Marsau went to aid Kiki in the middle of the night, as if to say Marsau was not joking about Kiki's situation. He was real serious about it. So, sometimes Maurice needs to be quiet, especially when he joked about cheating. Kimmy looked at him like, I know they had a conversation after that. I know that it wasn't on tape, unless they did and they just didn't show it. But yeah, these dudes are just taking their women way too for granted. Well, you give them an inch, take a mile, pretty much. What my notes say? Tisha was the first to help Kiki because Kiki reached out to her favorite cousin. Well, if she your favorite cousin, why are you stabbing her in the back like this, Kiki? Kiki, you ain't shit. Period. First cousin, my ass. Are you related? Are you adopted? No shade to those who were adopted. Yeah. pretty much Kiki was like, there was no need to divulge her drug habit issue, especially when she was getting help for it. And, you know, again, that's Marsau just stepping in where he shouldn't with Tisha's family. So, you know, it is what it is with that. That was that on that. Okay. Tisha was unaware of the slight that they talked about it before. Remember what a season early in season 4, how Kiki and what's her name, Tisha, talked about this years ago, but all of a sudden it's an issue again out of nowhere, and Tisha hasn't even brought it up since that time, and that's the issue I'm talking about. They so-called resolved things years ago, but Kiki brought this on the show so that she can, you know, get her comeuppance, I guess. Just like that cousin Fester dude who was trying to go into business with Miss Wanda and that food truck. You know, people need to find other ways to to be famous, because right here and right now, folks looking real stupid. Now they're talking about the fight, the so-called fight, right? Where Mel showed up to confront Miss Wanda on her live. Now, I remember at the time it was happening, you know, we were all watching Mel on her live, right? And we like, what's going on? What? And then we all, you know, talking about it and joking about it and whatnot. And we were like, it's obvious. She said she was there to handle business. So it's not, you know, so far-fetched that we would think Mel was starting stuff. And she did. She came there, you know, hot under the collar about Miss Wanda talking about her kids and questioning her punani and where it's been and questioning, you know, the paternity of Sugar Mama. And I'm like, what? Now, if y'all saw the clip, Mel was real feisty and ghetto in that parking lot. And that's what really started it, because it don't take much to get Miss Wanda started. All Melody had to do was keep it cute and sweet like she doing on stage. But nah, she was real out there. And her mom was co-signing it. Her mom allowed it. Pretty much, she didn't step in or say anything else. And remember, in the car, before they even got out of her car, her and her mom was going back and forth. Oh, no, I'm going to handle things. I'm going to handle things. And see, that's what they didn't show. That's what they didn't say. Miss Wanda was right. Miss Wanda and Maurice was right. Mel came over to Miss Wanda, show enough, whatever, to start mess and to confront her at the Madonni event. And pretty much like Maurice said in the first reunion, in the first part, why would you go? You went there to confront the woman. So that's just how that was. Why couldn't you call her or take care of that, you know, beforehand? No, because Mel wanted the audience, of course, like she said on her live. Oh, no, I got this. I don't need no backup. You know, all this, that, and the third. See, all this Miss Prish she doing on the stage, she lying. Just like Marsau called her out, you're lying. Mel started it, period, point blank, talking about coming over to handle things. Yeah, okay. Maurice feels like Martell should have never brought up paternity issues or whatever to Dr. Heavenly on her show. Now they're talking about talking to Miss Wanda about what she said about, you know, the whole kids and whatnot. Miss Wanda was like, she was talking about the baby that Melody aborted, right? But how Miss Wanda was talking about finding the picture so she can match the picture up with the baby. Well, you can't do that with with an embryo. So hello. So that's how Melody correlated, her talking about sugar mama, talking about the last baby and who the daddy is and this, that, and the third. Martell was trying to make a point to Carlos. If he's so passionate about the kids, where was the passion with his daughter? And at the time it initially happened, it wasn't a big deal made to Carlos like the other issues were. Like, for instance, when they talked about when Martell apologized to MJ about the 20 girlfriends, there was no adult, neither of his parents were a part of that scene. And that's when Carlos apologized for not being a parent and understanding that there should have been one of MJ's parents, more so Marsau, involved in that scene. And that's true. Whenever you're filming children, at least either parent should be involved with that scene, because that's you can't just take people's kids and over here and not tell the parents what's going on. So I mean, the scene wasn't bad. The scene wasn't anything, what do you call it? Salacious or, iffy or whatever. It was just the fact that the parents didn't know the child was filming a scene that was aired, cut and pasted, and put out. And I get it. I would have, approached Carlos the same way. So Martell was like, all that energy and whatnot that Carlos felt, for those kids should have been felt for his daughter when his daughter was made to look like a fool. I'm saying she, made it look like a fool. That's not what Martell said, but it's all good. Mel had the funny part about all of that is Miss Wanda did apologize, and Mel was like, I don't want the apology. Yeah, she said what she said, but she don't believe she was wrong. She don't believe she said anything wrong. She don't believe she said what she said, although we all heard it. I'm good. She can say what she want to say, whatever. I'm just moving on. And the strange thing is, when Carlos asked her, "You moving on?" She said, "I'm moving on from everybody." Everybody? Like, everybody did something to you? Girl. Now she the victim. She doing all these, bringing people on the show to embarrass people, bringing a family on the show to embarrass people, made that successful. She didn't make the first attempt successful when she tried to air out Marsau's cheating. So now she's airing out Tisha with the first cousin, trying to prove her point to people. Well, if your point is the truth, you don't need no proof. You don't need to go out and find people to hurt your coworkers. Okay, Phaedra Ho. Another funny moment. Tisha was going off on Mel and whatnot, and Mel corrected her grammar. I'm like, see, that's that dig stuff, because again, we all know that, Tisha had an issue with her, speech or academia or whatever the case may be. The girl got 2 MBAs. Now, I ragged her on saying criterias, because ain't no such word as criterias. Criteria, criterion, criterions. Hey, I didn't make it up. That's the rule. So yeah, I get it. But when you're on that platform and you're just looking like this and giving a smile and just trying to be as innocent looking as possible, it's one way to look on the screen, and it's another way that you look in. Melody S. Holt. I think you are somewhat similar to what Tisha said. What they call it, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That is really but she get it from her mama. She get it from. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Most of us get things from our mama. Most of us was raised by our mama, so we have traits that are innate in us, and we have traits that are behavioral from what we've learned and what we saw and heard. And I truly believe she's getting all this from her. Now, we ain't seen her daddy, ain't heard from her daddy, don't know nothing about her daddy. So we're going to figure he's a, deadbeat, whatever the case may be. Now, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Maybe they did touch on it, but as far as I know, we've never discussed her father. We just know he probably is a deadbeat dude. But if he not, my bad. But I'm just assuming, and I hate the word assuming, but we haven't. I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying that. The whole issue of all of this is just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because bottom line is, don't bring up children in an adult situation, in an adult fight. Just talk about the adults. Now, if people want to start talking about kids, then, that may be fisticuffs, like what happened at the Madonni event. Mel was on 10. Plug, shameless plug. Mel was on 10 at that Madonni event, and it showed, pointing and getting all in her personal space. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And, putting her finger all up in her personal space. See, one thing is, you put anything in my personal space, it may get snatched. Now, Mel is lucky. Nothing happened with all that putting stuff in the face and carrying on. Again, she was heated, and I get it, but you got to be a lot more careful, considering you have a lot more to lose than Miss Wanda. Because if it comes to court stuff, it's going to be, you going to lose because you came over there starting stuff. Wanda was minding her own business. You came into her space wanting to address her, including it was premeditated because you discussed it in the car on live publicly for people to see and know what was going on, trying to think you all Miss Big and Bad. But yeah, you your slip is showing, Melody S. Holt, Melody Cherie. What else happened in the part 2? Mel don't want to address, what I say? An innocent child was brought up and it shouldn't have. Pretty much case in point. Pretty much. And that's what Carlos was saying. An innocent child was brought up and they shouldn't have. So no matter what the subject matter of the issue is, an innocent child was brought up and she shouldn't have. So that's that on that. Yeah, Mel don't want to address Marsau, Tisha personally, even though they're trying to have conversation on the stage. She's just trying to ignore them because she don't want to deal with them no more. But they did a cut and came back, and then she started addressing them as to exactly what they're saying to her. And, her and Marsau went back and forth. He called her a liar because why else would you go on live, like Marsau said? Why else would you go on live and say all these things if you didn't come there to address and start stuff? And that's the bottom line. She was the instigator, and, she almost got dealt with. Hey, just like they said about Candace, you can't get into a certain type of argument talking about fighting if you ain't gonna fight. Because once physicality started and whatnot, that's when if you can't fight, back up. If you can't fight, don't start doing anything physical with nobody. Like Melody, all that pointing in folks' face and whatnot. Well, Miss Wanda came around the back, wanted to handle you. But, it was squashed. Marsau was like, she started it. And now she's lying, talking about why she went on live. Mel was like, well, it's my live. I can go on live if I want to. Well, why did you? She didn't ever answer that. And then he called her a liar. I agree. That's the one thing me and Marsau agreed on is that she lying. Girl, go somewhere with that. What else happened? Ooh, the humdinger. I saved it for last. At the end, when Mel was talking about, how they want to just talk about her and mention her all the time and just keep her as their storyline. And they're talking about, no, we your storyline because you inviting folks, talking about me and talking about inviting folks to come on the show, talk about my husband. It's true. It's true. The Scotts have never made any Hope their storyline. But the Hope, Melody S, of course, made the Scots her storyline. So let's keep that clear. Mel slipped and said, you know you love that, you know you love for me to just do the She Mel, you ain't shit for that. You ain't shit for that. Tisha Mel, go at it. Tisha just, let her know, pretty much you ain't shit, and that's that on that. No one holds Mel accountable. People don't want to hold Mel accountable, but they will. And that's that on that. And that's exactly why people run from situations when they know they're wrong, and because they have to be held accountable and they don't want to own up to their shit. And that's Melody S. Hope for you. That's the end of Reunion Part 2, Season 4, Love and Marriage, Huntsville, child. It was good. It was good. It was good. I can't wait for Part 3. Can you? Did you see it? For those who haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it. Let me know what you think, y'all. And on that note, I'm out. Check out my outro.